I woke up on a leather couch that wasn't mine. My head was pounding, a dull, throbbing drum against my skull. I heard the sound of running water, and when I turned, my heart nearly stopped. There, in the kitchen, stood my boss, CEO Natalie Cross. She was wearing my white button-down shirt and nothing else. Her expression was calm, almost serene, a stark contrast to the chaos in my mind. She looked at me, her gaze unblinking. "You didn't touch me, right?" she asked, her voice steady. I was so shocked I could barely form words. "No, of course not," I managed to stammer. A strange smile played on her lips. "Good," she said. "Because now I owe you more than I can ever repay." I was utterly lost. What was happening? Then my eyes fell on the table. Her company keys were there, next to her laptop. It was open, and on the screen, a video call was active. The entire board of directors was staring right at me. Let me rewind and explain. My name is Jordan Hayes, and I'm a driver for Apex Technologies. Natalie Cross is my boss, but in reality, she's more like a legend. A brilliant, ruthless CEO who operates in a world so far above mine, she probably doesn't even know I exist. I'm just the guy who opens her car door. Last Friday night was the company's big 10th anniversary party. A lavish affair I wasn't invited to. My job was to be parked outside, on call, waiting to shuttle the executives home safely. The night was quiet until around midnight, when Natalie's assistant came running out of the hotel, her face a mask of panic. Natalie had had way too much to drink and needed to get home. The problem was, she wouldn't let anyone else near her. I found Natalie slumped in a chair in the hotel lobby, her usually perfect hair a mess, her designer dress rumpled. She looked vulnerable. She was muttering to herself about people hating her, about being alone. I approached cautiously and gently helped her to her feet. She leaned on me heavily as we walked to the car. She fell asleep almost as soon as her head hit the leather seat. When we arrived at her luxury apartment building, she was completely passed out. I tried to wake her, but she wouldn't stir. I couldn't just leave her in the car. It wasn't safe. It wasn't right. So I did the only thing I could think of. I carried her up to her penthouse apartment. Her security guard recognized me and let me up. I carefully laid her on her bed and pulled a blanket over her. My job was done. As I turned to leave, her hand shot out and grabbed my wrist. Her eyes were barely open. "Don't leave me," she whispered, her voice thick with sleep and sadness. Don't leave me like he did. It felt like a plea from a place of deep pain. I promised I wouldn't. I got her a glass of water and some aspirin, leaving them on her nightstand. Then, I went back to the living room to wait just to make sure she was okay. I sat on the couch, telling myself I'd just stay for a minute. But the long day caught up to me, and I fell asleep. The next thing I knew, it was morning, and Natalie was standing over me. She didn't remember much from the night before. I explained everything, how I brought her home, put her to bed, and slept on the couch to make sure she was safe. She seemed relieved, but then her expression changed. She showed me a photo on her phone. Someone had snapped a picture of me helping her into the car the night before. The angle was terrible. It made it look like we were in a compromising, intimate embrace. She told me the photo was already making the rounds at the company. I felt a pit form in my stomach. I left her apartment as quickly as I could, the weight of a massive misunderstanding crushing me. Monday at the office was a nightmare. The air was thick with judgment. People stared. They whispered as I walked by. My fellow drivers made snide, cutting remarks. Then HR called me in. They sat me down and showed me a stack of formal complaints. They accused me of taking advantage of the CEO. I tried to explain what really happened, to tell them the truth, but they wouldn't listen. They suspended me pending an investigation. For 3 days, I was trapped in my apartment, watching my life and my reputation crumble online. The story had exploded. Someone had maliciously edited the building's security footage, cutting and pasting clips to make me look like a predator. The comments were brutal. Strangers called me a monster, a creep, a criminal. I felt completely and utterly helpless. My career was over. My life was ruined. But while I was spiraling, Natalie was doing something I never expected. She was watching the real footage. The unedited tapes from the hotel lobby, the car, her apartment hallway, everything. She saw it all. She saw how I respectfully helped her when she couldn't stand. She saw me tuck her into bed and leave the room immediately. She saw me keep my promise and stay, sleeping on her couch without crossing a single line. She saw that I had protected her dignity, even when I was being falsely accused by the entire world. The truth was right there, in black and white. On Thursday morning, my phone rang. It was Natalie. Her voice was firm, all business. "Be at the office by 9 a.m., she ordered, and hung up. I had no idea what to expect. When I arrived, the entire company was gathered for a mandatory all-staff meeting. And there, on the stage, was Natalie. She looked directly at the crowd and began to speak. Then, she played the footage. The unedited, raw footage of that night. The room fell silent as they watched the truth unfold. They saw me helping her, caring for her, and keeping a respectful distance. The truth was undeniable. "While all of you were busy spreading rumors and destroying a good man's reputation," Natalie said, her voice ringing with authority, "Jordan Hayes was being the kind of person this company claims to value. A person of integrity." She then announced that I was not being fired. In fact, I was being promoted to Director of Professional Standards and Ethics. My new job, she explained, was to teach the entire company what real integrity looks like. She also announced that the employees who spread the false rumors and maliciously edited the video would face severe consequences. The room was stunned. Then slowly the applause started. People were realizing their mistake, their rush to judgment. After the meeting, Natalie walked me to my new office. It was large, with a view of the city. She explained why she'd done it. Years ago, someone she trusted had abandoned her when she was at her most vulnerable. That night, she told me, was a test. A test to see if anyone would stay, if anyone would help without wanting something in return. I was the only one who did. I signed the contract. A week later, I gave my first company-wide training session. I stood in front of everyone and told them that integrity isn't about what you do when people are watching. It's about doing the right thing when no one is watching. And for the first time, they really listened. A year has passed. The culture at Apex Technologies has changed. It's more honest, more compassionate. Natalie and I became close friends. The other day, we were sitting in her office and she handed me a small, single button. "I kept this," she said, "from the shirt you let me borrow that morning. To remind me that good people still exist." I looked at the button in my hand and realized that the smallest choices we make can create the biggest changes in our lives and the lives of others. Doing the right thing, especially when it's hard, always costs something. But it is always, always worth the price. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more.